It's the final tune-up for Canada's national men's under-18 team before the Hlinka Gretzky Cup coming up in Red Deer, and the final chance to impress for half of Canada's top U20 prospects looking to earn a spot on Team Canada for the 2023 IIHF World Junior Championship. Hi again, everybody. My name's Tyler King with our HN Live crew at Winsport in Calgary, where we'll see the U18s try to pull off another intra-national upset after they downed half of Canada's top U20 prospects by a 6-4 score yesterday. Today they take on Team Canada's junior U20 Red Squad. That's the team that won the initial scrimmage when this first started. As goaltenders for this one, Scott Ratzlaff between the pipes for the U18s, and it'll be Ben Gaudreau starting between the pipes for the U20s of the Sarnia Sting of the OHL. Early with this one is Colton Dock putting it back.
Now what you can do is now you can align.
The U18's wearing white in this one. They were in red yesterday. Zach Benson pokes that one in on goaltender Gaudreau. He covers up for an early whistle out of Corbeil, Ontario, playing for the Sarnia Sting in the OHL, for whom he got into 44 games last year. Did number 40 on the U20 Red Squad. Third-round pick of the San Jose Sharks as well. And one of many players who actually won gold at the U18, the IIHF U18s back in 2021. He was named the top goaltender of that tournament, and also had Team Canada experience at the last World Under-17 Hockey Challenge, where he played for Team Canada Black back in the November 2019 edition of that event, last time that it was played before 2 straight years of cancellations. But it'll be back this year, as will the full slate of international hockey events. As that was Owen Beck spinning that one down to the end wall. Out to the point it comes for Ethan Del Mastro. His long wrister doesn't find its way through. It's banked out to neutral. Andrew Crystal, he's opened the scoring for his team in 3 consecutive games. That time a sharp angle shot denied. And Tucker Robertson turned it over at neutral. Matthew Wood carries in, and he wires a hot wrister, but just missed the target. It's going to ricochet all the way back into the U18 zone. Scott Ratzlaff there of the Seattle Thunderbirds of the WHL. Now Wood spinning that off to the far side. Wood was the BCHL Rookie of the Year with the Victoria Grizzlies. As the U20s can recollect now. Tapped in deep, and Caden Price was there, number 4 in white. Got it up the wall, but not out. Have a chance here in the high slot, and that wrister from the U20s doesn't find its way through. Looked like Chason who got that shot away. Now Sampson's shot blocked in front. And we got a penalty in the O zone taken by the U20s. Call's going to be for interference, and it's going to send the U18 squad to its first power play. They were actually on the PK for most of the first period in yesterday's game. As to the box goes Fraser Minton of the U20 Red Squad. So power play chance here for the U18s. And we'll see some tests on goaltender Ben Gaudreau. There's a quick clear here. It's going to come to Benson back in his own end. He'll leave it. Carried in by Callum Ritchie there of the Oshawa Generals. He's got to retreat back to the red line. Drops it off center circle. Benson using his speed as he carries it in, drops to Riley Height. Back to Benson, chopping at that one. A couple point-blank saves made by Gaudreau. Back to the point now. Riley Height skates in closer, shoots, and a kneeling block of that one. Ethan Del Mastro got in the way. Swatted out by the Reds. Going to come all the way down into U18 territory here, just under halfway through their first power play, is Jordan Tourigny, the Shawinigan Cataracts of the QMJHL. Won a league championship last season. Heading to the Hlinka Gretzky Cup in a few days. Braden Yager shoots that one wide. Opening their tournament on Sunday, will Canada, with a 7 o'clock game Mountain Time against Switzerland. As the U20s nearly sprung their man on a penalty kill opportunity, but Tanner Molendijk will carry back in here. Drop that off for Matthew Wood, but his dump down low bounces out of play, and we'll get a whistle that stops play. And my apologies, by the way, they've actually switched the starting goaltenders. It's not who we had listed on our depth chart to start things. Actually, Mason Bopit is between the pipes. Number 60, not number 40, for the U20 Red squad. Sorry about that, everybody. Bopit for Spokane of the WHL. As it's won by the U18s. One-timer there from Gauthier, just missed the target, gets caught up in the net back there. And the whistle will go quickly, so we'll keep the face-off right here with time ticking away in the power play. So there, look at the correct goaltender. That's Mason Bopit, number 60. 6'5", 185, and a fourth-round pick of San Jose. Out of the Valley West U18 minor hockey program. Gotten to 49 games with the Chiefs last year in Spokane, an .893 save percentage in that span. As the U20s win this PK draw, but Del Mastro had his stick lifted there. Got a second chance behind the net, but it's going to pop out in front. Quickly wired all the way down the ice. And Tourigny's back to collect with just a few seconds to go in this power play for Canada's U18 Holinka Gretzky Cup squad. Riley Height shoots that one in. And a roll out to Benson at the wall. He got crunched by Bloom, but got it down low nonetheless. And Grant Clark was there for the U20s to bounce that all the way back into U18 territory, and that'll do it. They're 0 for 1 on the power play as Minton comes out of the box. Shot in deep there by Colby Barlow. He had a big goal yesterday, the Owen Sound attack forward. The 6 goals that the U18 scored came from 6 different goal scorers, and only 2 players had multi-point games, by the way. Here's Jagger Fergus with a nice wrister from the circle, but a better save made by Scott Ratzlaff. Back in front, Tourigny can steer that one away to the far wall. So it was Carson Rakoff and Andrew Crystal were the only players on this U18 squad yesterday who had more than 1 point. There's Rakoff, one of them, he had a goal and an assist. Chasing this down at the end wall. But he's harangued by Tyson Hines there, and it'll be the U20's recovery. Ferkus then dropped it back and gets it back. Ferkus for the Moose Jaw Warriors in the WHL. Now it's dished across for a quick wrister there from Minton, and that was a good save from Ratzlaff once again. Puck going to deflect free once more. Barkey is there. It's bounced all the way down into U20 territory once again. Chased down by Rakoff. He'll hold on in behind his own cage. Now Sampson shooting this one all the way down ice again, and a whistle will stop play. Face-off to come back into the U20 red zone. Braden Yager to take this draw. Wins it for Height as his shot is blocked there by Green. Ricochets off to the far wall. Another shot bounces in behind the cage. And Doug Free gotten out to Sage Weinstein with a wrister there that's blocked in front. Settled down by Adam Fantilli, who bounces that to the opposing blue. Weinstein's back to collect again. Knifed that one ahead, kept in by Bloom. Now here they come again, the U18s. Quick wrister there from Price, deflects out of play. We get a whistle there with just under 6 minutes gone in our first period. As a look there at Sage Weinstein of the U18s, the Edmonton, Alberta native who played for Spokane as well last year in the WHL. Graduate of the CAC Edmonton Canadians and the 18th overall WHL pick back in 2020. Had a 14-point campaign for them in 59 games last year. Woods got it now. But as he dropped it off down low, U20s can recollect here. It's Owen Beck behind the cage, who took a hard shove from Ethan Gauthier on the forecheck. It's going to come back, though, to Ethan Del Mastro. Fed to neutral. That's picked off by Wood, who charges back in. Shoots, and he just missed on the short side. Del Mastro will recollect there as he leaves for Tucker Robertson. to put it out to the red line, but there's a penalty. Checking to the head is a call on a collision that we just barely missed. It was just behind the play. And it's going to send the U20 red team to its first power play now. Try to see who the offending party is. It's going to be Kalen Lind, the Red Deer Rebel, the WHL, who heads off. As you see there, Adam Fantilli getting set for this power play. Fantilli played for Chicago in the USHL last year and a University of Michigan commit for next season. Won a USHL championship with the Chicago Steel 2 seasons ago. As the Reds take possession, here's Canada's U20 squad. They won the opening intra-squad game 5-3 over the U20 white team, and that's the team that dropped the decision yesterday to this upstart U18 squad. But so far, been a real even start to this one. The U18s were outshot 15-7 in the opening period in yesterday's game against the first half of the U20 prospects, but only trailed 1-0, and then they ended up scoring 5 times in the second period en route to their win. Back to neutral, this one comes. Swatted back in by Raykop. Now here come the U20s once more. Zachary Bolduc leads this rush, drops off for Fantilli. He'll poke it to the end wall. His goaltender Ratzlaff poked that free, but Ethan Sampson keeps this one in. Slapped that down low and then got it right back. Sampson for Prince George in the WHL. Holds on in the high slot now. Dishes to Jagger Firkus. He'll spin with it. Put it back up top. Sampson's drive. Good screen in front, but Ratzlaff got the pad in the way. Firkus once again. Spins that down low. And that was Bolduc trying to put it back in front. Couldn't do it. Firkus recollects. Trying to find Bolduc there, but intercepted. The clearance, though, kept in by Sampson. Ethan Sampson shooting one, and he just rockets it off the post. Back for Firkus now. And then side of the net, Bolduc. Try to sweep that one home. Ratzlaff in the way again, and it's cleared all the way down. Good possession movement from the U20s there, but unable to beat Scott Ratzlaff, who was a star in the opening intra-squad games that decided the Holinka Gretzky Cup team. 23 players that were named at the start of this week. Now Clark coming in closer with time running out. Fed across and Firkus. What a one-timer that was, but he just barely missed the target. Bounced to the side there, and Ratzlaff gets on top of it and gets his team a whistle. There's a look at number 29 of the U18 squad, Scott Ratzlaff out of Irma, Alberta. Same hometown as Jagger Firkus, who's playing against him in this one. Played for Seattle in the WHL, as we mentioned. 22 games for him, in which he posted a 17-2-1 record. Seattle, of course, had a great season last year, going all the way to the WHL final. But it was Thomas Milic, who we saw yesterday on the U20 opposition, who's their starter. But a .904 save percentage for Ratzlaff over the course of the WHL regular season last year. 6'1", 165. His stats as Matejchuk shoots that one. It's off the body and wide. Jam back down low here for Owen Beck behind the cage. He gets run over. And the clearance up the wall will nonetheless be kept in, and Beck's got another try at it. Owen Beck sweeping it up the near wall and then leaving it for Denton Matejchuk, who's pinned by a couple defenders. And that allows the U18s to dig it free and get it out to the red line. Ritchie carries in, dished that one across, and it bounced off his teammate Weinstein and wide. Battle to the point, Benson there with the keep in. Denton Matejchuk gets to it first. Here come the U20s again. Tucker Robertson, Torontonian, who plays for Peterborough in the OHL, carries his way in. Dishes down low for Owen Beck. Back to the point, and that was Brant Clark spinning it back down low. The chase down for Del Mastro at the far wall there, but he can only get it down to the corner. Robertson in to help out. He takes a stiff shoulder from Weinstein, who's been one of the more physical players over the course of these last couple of games. As it's chipped ahead by Benson into the O zone, but Clark right back to take it. Plays for the Barrie Colts in the OHL, does the Nepean, Ontario native Brant Clark, just outside the Ottawa area. As this is now Jake Chason, dropping this one back. Brant Clark, nice move to the circle, but the feet in front's picked off and then turned over, and the wrister there doesn't find its way through. Fraser Minton took advantage, but Ratzlaff made another good stop. Comes back free for Dylan McKinnon. He knifes it up the far wall, but not out. Another try at this by Braden Yager. He gets run over, but got the puck to the neutral zone, as it's then shot right back in, and Ratzlaff has to stop it. The U20s are on a change. Riley Height. Banked across there for Andrew Crystal. Back into his own end it comes. So U20s have their fresh legs on the ice now, and they intercept another one at neutral. Cohen Ziemer, or rather it was Evan Noss carrying it. Then a feed to the slot, and Fantilli couldn't get a shot away as he was nicely disrupted by Callum Ritchie on the back check. Sampson keeps it in and spins it down low. Rather, it was Andrew Crystal on that back check, tying up the stick and preventing that chance from getting through. Finally pops free for the U20s to keep the attack going here. It's Ethan Sampson once again. Left it in the high slot, and that wrister just misfired off of Colton Dock's stick. Back down low now for Fantilli. End of the point. And that one in front for a quick wrister by Ryan Green. Couldn't get everything on it, though. And the U18s can bounce this one ahead. Molendyke couldn't get it out, though. Sampson battling his way down the wall. 6'3", 183, and now leaves for Fantilli. Dish that one across. One-timer off the outside of the net from Firkus. He's tried that same play twice, and both he's gotten great velocity on the shot, but just hasn't found the target. Sampson again. Leaves for Firkus. Dishes this one across, and the one-timer off the post on a quick wrister from Matejchuk. That's twice the U20s have hit the iron, and we got a penalty coming up here against the U18s as Firkus keeps the pressure on, but as he spins it ahead, Price touches up, and the U20s are going right back to the power play here. High sticking the call against Team Canada's U18 squad, and the U20s will get their second power play of this one already. The shots in this one, just 7-5 in favor of the U20 red team. And Colton Dock will take this face-off for the power play unit. 6'4", towering forward, 205 pounds out of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. Fantilli's one-timer was blocked. Of course, his brother Kirby was captain of Team Canada at the World Juniors a couple of years ago. So comes back in behind the net. Back up for Fantilli now. Dished across Sampson, a nice drive there, and it was just wide. The rebound bounced off the top of the net and then rolled in behind again. U20 started to celebrate there, but it never actually found its way in. And then as it was touched down off of one of their high sticks, the faceoff is going to come out to the neutral zone. Another look there at goaltender Ratzlaff, who's so far made 7 saves on 8 shots. And they are going to push this faceoff just outside of his territory here. And Dock's line stays out there. Colton Dock had 79 points in 61 games for Kelowna in the WHL. It's a first-team All-Star. Played 143 major junior games, scoring 128 points in that span. Green carries in now. Ryan Green from Paradise, Newfoundland, puts it down low, and then it's Minton putting it back up top. And that wrister from Fantilli deflects off a stick and out of play. Another look there at Adam Fantilli out of Nobleton, Ontario. We mentioned a 74-point campaign for Chicago in the USHL last year. He was a first-team All-Star on that team. And also a member of Canada's U18 squad, but the most recent one at the IIHF World Under-18s earlier this year, where he was actually a pretty good offensive scorer with 6 points in 4 games for Fantilli at the U18s. Of course, Canada, after winning gold in the 21 tournament, fell in the quarterfinals this past year. But of course, those U18s a bit tougher to judge because Canada is dependent on which players are available as it goes on during the junior hockey playoffs. So that's why the Hlinka Gretzky Cup is so closely followed. As we get an offside touch there by the U20s and a face-off to come back out to neutral. They're discussing the location here, but yeah, going to be that same place as the last one, just outside of the U18's end. As we said, they open their tournament this Sunday, July 31st, 7 o'clock. They'll take on Switzerland at the PV Mart Centrium in Red Deer. HockeyCanada.ca/tickets. And we got a penalty there off that battle at neutral. It was Brant Clark and Braden Yager trying to get to that loose puck. And interference is going to be the call to end that power play. And a good job there by the reigning CHL Rookie of the Year, Braden Yager, as he forces the call there against the U20s and turns this into a 4-on-4 situation. Yager, by the way, we've mentioned it lots of times because we've broadcasted a lot of his games over the course of this summer showcase. The Saskatoon Contacts grad had an amazing year for the Warriors last season. 59 points in 63 games. 34 of those points were goals, as he was WHL and CHL top rookie. So some 4-on-4 action here briefly before it becomes a power play for the U18s, as that one misfires. Coming off of Evan Noss's stick. It's going to come back down low here. The U18's turn to break this one out. Pushed ahead there for Callum Ritchie at the red, but couldn't corral it. Molendyke recollects and spins away from the pressure of Beck. Tanner Molendyke from Saskatoon in the WHL. Puts it to neutral, and there's Zach Benson. Benson had 63 points in 58 games for Winnipeg in the WHL. Now Ritchie digs this one free. Tried to find Benson in front, but Del Mastro intercepted. And now the U20s can recollect in their own zone. Del Mastro shoots it all the way down as his team's now on the PK. And Jordan Tourigny can settle this one down and start up ice. Yager driving his way down to the corner. Leaves it as it's rimmed up to the point for Tourigny. Brief power play here for the U18s. As that's Matthew Wood. Drops it back for Crystal. It's off his stick, though. One-handed ahead. Crystal kept it in. Got it to Braden Yager. Dished it down low. There's Ethan Gauthier waiting and centering. Crystal couldn't get it through. Matthew Wood again fires. He scores! Two goals in 2 games for Matthew Wood as he sends that one in from the right circle and gets the U18s out in front early. It's 1-0. There's great pressure by the U18 squad, and they convert. They're now 1 for 2 on the power play. And unlike yesterday where they trailed 1-0 and were being more than doubled in shots, they're off to a heck of a start here against their older counterparts. Clark gets to this back in his own zone. The U20s will try to respond here in the dying minutes of the first period. Price dishes it back into his own end. As it deflects out to the red line once more. Del Mastro. Pressured there by Kalen Lind, who lost his footing, so the U20s can settle this one down. Josh Bloom here, or rather Clark. Got it off to that far side, and now Green accepts the pass at neutral. Ryan Green going 1-on-2 though, so McKinnon takes it away from him and banks it out to Kalen Lind. Now Del Mastro intercepts one at neutral. The Freelton, Ontario native shoots that one, looking for a tip in front, didn't come through. Return pass in front doesn't connect either, and now Brant Clark keeps it in. Dish down low for Colton Dock, and he quickly put that in front. Riley Height the intercept now, and here come the U18s. But the feed ahead is too far for Colby Barlow. He'll have to do battle with Ethan Sampson down low. Taken back by the U20s, bounce to neutral. Slipping behind the defense, here is Fantilli. He has to get in behind the net, though, as there wasn't much space. Puts it in front for Furcus. Another quick wrister, and another good save from Ratzlaff, as he has denied Jagger Furcus on one of his best chances. Furcus has also missed the net on a couple of really good one-timer opportunities for number 51 on the Red squad. Plays for Moose Jaw in the WHL, does Jagger Furcus. 80 points for him last year, by the way, in 66 games. You see him right there in the center of your screen. Second-round pick, but a high second-round pick of the Seattle Kraken. And 2 years ago, had an unreal start for Lloydminster's U18 AAA squad. He put up 11 points in just 4 games, because, of course, minor hockey didn't get into many games last year across Western Canada. Bolduc off the draw, shoots and scores! Ratzlaff was going the other way, and Bolduc's wrister from the top of the right circle slides its way in, and the U20s have tied it up late in the first period. And that's a heck of a shot for Zachary Bolduc of the Quebec Ramparts in the QMJHL. He is used to scoring, although maybe not as awkwardly as that one was. He had 55 goals for the Ramparts last year in 65 games, 17th overall pick of the St. Louis Blues. And there he knocks this one back up. We're back to square one here. Hines gets there first, leaves for Matejchuk, and now for Robertson. Stripped of it by Catafor as it's dropped then for Molendyke, and that sharp angle shot doesn't get through. Hope it wasn't tested that time. It's going to be knifed out to the point again. And a feed to the back door. That pinballed off Benson's skate and wide. And the U20's out to neutral with this one as they shoot it in deep. There, Benson got tangled up with Bloom, and the both of them fall. U20's finding Tucker Robertson here at the red line. This will put that in deep, and Molendyke gets there first. He gets hit hard, though. Forecheck going to work for the U20s. Dangerously tapped in front, but Benson is there, and he quickly gathers speed to the center circle. Off for a change now, though. It's a long shift for him, and now Ethan Del Mastro can recollect, but took a bump there from Denver Barkey, who's tenacious on the forecheck as always, but couldn't take possession that time. And this is Fraser Minton carrying in for the U20s now. Chip down low for Paul Ludwinski of the Kingston Frontenacs of the OHL, then turned over in front. That turnaround wrister Chason didn't get through. Jake Chason again at the far side here. Dishes across for Clark. He shoots one, block it away, Ratzlaff. Rebound just shot high by Chason. Great opportunity there for the U20s, but the puck was up on end a bit after the initial save by Ratzlaff. And they couldn't get a clean rebound shot through. No icing on this one as the U20s gather back in their own end. Some fresh skates off the bench again, and here they come. Fantilli had it poked, but Chason backs him up, bounces it in on Ratzlaff. He's going to play it safe and cover up for another whistle. Face-off will be to the left of Ratzlaff in the U18 zone. Ryan Green in to take this draw. At 51 points for Green Bay in the USHL last year. Second round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks and Boston University commit for next year is Ryan Green. Right off the draw, it's cleared all the way down, and icing called there. Another O-zone opportunity here for the U20s. So big Colton Dock in there to take the draw. One cleanly to the point. Shot there is wide of the net. And Jagger trying to clear here, but had it taken back by Dock. Trying to stick handle around two opponents, nearly did. But finally settled down and tapped all the way back to the U20 zone. Here's Green. Jam center circle, and Fantilli carries his way in. Drops this one back, and Doc couldn't get a shot away as he was charging in close. Here's Team White, the U18 squad. A quick poke check there disrupts. His Price is offside as he sent that one in. So Team White's got to retreat. Here comes Green. Backhands a bouncer in as they're changing once again. Heading into the final couple minutes of this opening frame. Goals from Matthew Wood and Zachary Bolduc for the U20s, making it a 1-1 score. Icing there against the U18s. And another O-zone draw coming up here for the squad looking to earn spots in Halifax and Moncton. As there we look at Kalen Lind of the U18 team, Shaunavon, Saskatchewan native, who had a 38-point campaign for Red Deer in the WHL last season. 20 of them were goals. Of course, brother of Cole Lind, who played in Seattle in the NHL last season. And one of a couple of graduates of the Saskatoon Contacts minor hockey program that will be representing Canada at the Hlinka Gretzky starting this weekend. Tyson Hines here at the point. Long wrister there, didn't find its way through. Another chance from the point here. That's Cohen-Zima with a shot, and that one stopped and held by Scott Ratzlaff for another whistle. Cohen-Zima, 18 on Team Red, out of Mayerthorpe, Alberta, 5'11", 201 pounds, out of the Prince George Cougars of the Western Hockey League. He's one of the draft-eligible players at this U20 camp, as a later birth date. 30 goals for him in the dub last season in 68 games, 57 points in total for him. also got into 22 games with Prince George 2 years ago in that season where a lot of players in the WHL could only get into a few games with their minor hockey teams. Zimmer was no exception, playing for St. Albert in the Alberta Elite Hockey League. So got to play in that condensed WHL season and certainly parlayed that into a heck of a performance this year. Now it's a 3-on-1 for the U20s as the wrister from the circles right on Ratzlaff, and the rebound is below him. Looked like Beck, who got the original shot away from the circle. Ratzlaff saved it, looked a little bit unsure, but then was on top of it before it eventually popped loose, but that was well after the whistle had gone. And it'll be another O-zone draw for the U20s. Ratzlaff with a quick chat with the referee in behind the play there after the whistle bailed him out a little bit. And Paul Ludwinski in to take this draw for the U20s. He's from Pickering, Ontario. 43 points for the Frontenacs in Kingston last year. Second round pick of Chicago. It's going to come down for an attack by Minton. He got knocked down though. He's in there trying to jam it free behind the cage again. Finally, the U18 spin this one free. Kalen Lind hustles to the red, but he's caught up to really quickly. And the U20s are putting their foot down a little bit here in the late goings. Paul Ludwinski puts it up to the point. Brant Clark. He'll survey. He's got lots of traffic in front. Going to leave it for Del Mastro, though. Del Mastro cuts in closer, but that one blocked by Molendijk. Again, Del Mastro. To the lower slot, Ludwinski tried to put it through the blue paint, finally does, and Chason couldn't tap it home. Looked like he caught a stick in the process, but no call comes of that. Del Mastro's got it again, through the blue paint again, and nobody could tap it home. And that desperation shot from the point, handled by Ratzlaff, and he holds on to that one for a whistle. And then we get a little bit of tempers flaring there as Fraser Minton goes in to mix things up. 37 in red, you see on the bottom of your screen there with some final words for one of his opponents. He's out of Vancouver, BC, and played for Kamloops in the WHL last year, a second-round pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs. 55 points for him in the dub last year in 67 games, 20-goal man for them. Right off the draw, Ratzlaff was ready for that one. Came off the stick of Fantilli. Another try, deflected, and just goes wide of the net to end our first period of play. Canada's U18 squad outshot 17-7 in that one, but they get the opening goal, and it's a 1-1 tie after 20 minutes. Second period's coming up in mere moments. It's the Hockey Canada U18 U20 Summer Showcase on hockeycanada.ca. this year is going to be huge. Hockey Canada is getting ready to host 3 marquee international events that you don't want to miss. It's the summer of hockey. First up, top NHL prospects are coming to Red Deer from July 31st to August 6th for the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, where Canada's national men's under-18 team will go for an incredible 23rd summer gold medal. Next, after being canceled in December, the 2022 IIHF World Junior Championship returns to Edmonton from August 9th to 20th, and a limited number of Team Canada ticket packages are still available. And finally, to close out the calendar year in style, perhaps the most anticipated tournament of them all starts on Boxing Day, when the 2023 IIHF World Junior Championship returns to Atlantic Canada in Halifax and Moncton. Demand for tickets has already exceeded availability, but you can still get your name in the priority draw. Check out hockeycanada.ca/tickets for more information and for your chance to get tickets while you still can. And hockey lovers, are you looking for the inside scoop? Join fans of Canada's game across the country and around the world and receive the Hockey Canada Insider. Straight to your inbox, the Insider includes news and features about Team Canada, national and international events, and much more. Insiders also gain access to exclusive contests, ticket pre-sales, and other promotions. Sign up today at hockeycanada.ca/insider. It's a busy summer for Hockey Canada with camps and events through the middle of September, so make sure you're checking out hockeycanada.ca for scores, stats, stories, and more. You can also follow at Hockey Canada on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to engage in real time. It was a busy first period here between half of Canada's top U20 prospects for the World Juniors coming up at the end of the year. We should mention, to be fair to them, that the players who were already going to be competing in Edmonton starting August 9th when the tournament restarts are not part of this evaluation camp. So they're a little bit brought down in terms of the overall talent as a result of that. But still, well matched against this U18 squad that starts the Hlinka Gretzky Cup on Sunday. We had 2 goals in the first. Matthew Wood of the Victoria Grizzlies of the BCHL shoots one in from the right circle at the 14:16 mark, but then it's Zach Bolduc off of a face-off just over a minute 20 after that, who's able to tie it up for the U20s. Cohen Ziemer won the draw to get it to Bolduc and make it a 1-1 game. Shots were 17-7 in favor of the red U20 squad. As now Scott Ratzlaff is off to our left, and Mason Beaupit to our right in net for the U20s. Back underway. In the first period, it was kind of a polar opposite of yesterday. It was the U18s who started with a real spring to their step, but those last, say, 2 or 3 minutes of the third, it was all U20 red. See if they're able to keep that going as Fantilli gets around his man and in behind the net, tries a wraparound. Ratzlaff was in the way. They'll come back to Fantilli. He stands up Sage Weinstein, who tried to hit him. You see the size differential starting to play a factor here, but Weinstein popped right back up, and he made that pass out to Benson. Leaves at the penalty box boards. Catafor bumped into that troublesome penalty box door as it pops open, and smartly the officials will blow the whistle immediately because you don't want open doors out there. We see Matthew Catafor, 17, white, skating away on the right side of your screen there out of Saint-Constant, Quebec. Had a all-rookie campaign in the QMJHL last year. He was their 6th overall pick a couple of years back. Put up 46 points for the Mooseheads in 62 games, did Mathieu Catafor. As the faceoff will be just outside of the U18 end. U20 shoot it right back in, and a ever-busy Scott Ratzlaff will leave it behind his own net. Now Riley Height dishes that one ahead. Here comes Braden Yager. Just shot in from the center circle that time. And it's right back to neutral for Josh Bloom to lead the rush for the U20s. Bloom plays for Saginaw in the OHL, Saginaw Spirit down in Michigan. Riley Height recollects now for the U18s, but stripped of it, and Owen Beck leads a 3-on-1 rush. Beck shoots it himself. Ratzlaff up to the task, and no rebound opportunity. Yager can now counterattack, leaving for Height. Trying to feed it back in front, but deflected by the stick of Bloom, and then he's down and hurt after deflecting that. The puck may have caught him or a stick as that play developed, and Bloom is up and skating off to the bench under his own power. You see him there just crossing the center circle. So tough collision there for Josh Bloom, who it looked like made a good defensive play, but I couldn't tell if it was the puck that caught him or a stick. Anyway, it's another 2-on-1 for the U20s. Ludwinski feeds it in front, and it's just tapped wide of the net. Great speed from Paul Ludwinski of the Kingston Frontenacs there to set that one up. And it was Jake Chase on at the other side who just barely missed on the right side of the net. Matthew Wood now, who has the goal for the U18s, is offside as he carries in alongside Ethan Gauthier. There's a look at Matthew Wood. As we mentioned, was not just Rookie of the Year in the BCHL last year, was also the #1 player in both points and goals. He had 85 points, 45 of them were goals, and he only played 46 regular season games. Also a player who was on Canada's IIHF U18 team earlier this year. Put up 2 points in 4 games for them. He's got a quick discussion over at the U20 bench here, so that'll delay things for just a few quick moments. I think there may be concern over the play on Josh Bloom there as he headed back to the bench in some discomfort after that collision back in his own end. But we're back underway as Oliver Bonk, son of longtime NHLer Radek Bonk, puts that one in deep. And then a turnover here to Colby Barlow, shooting that one. The rebound shot just off the side of the net. Another try from in front. Barlow couldn't get that one through. It was Raykop who he set up, did Colby Barlow there. Raykop there had it just bounce over his stick. Going to come back to Barlow spinning it down low. There's Carson Raykop, the Kitchener Rangers knocked down. But it's still played by Denver Barkey up to that far wall. And he throws a bump at the boards. He's been really good on the forecheck for this U18 squad. You can tell why he's earned a spot on this team. Real good, tenacious forward, although he's not the biggest guy out there. But now the U20's counterattacking with Furcus as he put that one through the slot. And his intended target slipped and filled. That was Cohen Ziemer. Couldn't get a shot through. Barlow puts that one in offside, so the U20s have a bit of time once again. They're out shooting the U18 Hlinka Gretzky Cup squad 19-9. But they lose it down low here to Catafor. Will get it all the way down into U20 territory. Matejchuk's there first. And Allen picks this one off for the U18s. Left for Zach Benson, but he's met by the stiff shoulder of Hines. Still pressing is Callum Ritchie down there in the corner for the U18s. 14 in white, and there's a penalty coming up here. Believe it's to the U20s, although the puck had popped free to a U18 player in the slot. It's a high sticking call. No, it is to the U18, so an offensive zone penalty there. And U20 Red is going to get their third power play of the game. They're 0 for 2 so far. And Adam Fantilli's squad, you see there, it's Callum Ritchie in the box, as you see there on your screen. Fantilli out for the power play once again. Nope, check that. Going to change up the unit here. And it's instead going to be Brant Clark's unit, centered by Tucker Robertson, who had 81 points for the Peterborough Petes in the OHL this past year. 4th round pick of the Seattle Kraken. 10th highest goal scorer in the OHL this year was Tucker Robertson. So here's Matejchuk at the point off the draw. Leaves for Clark. Dish to the circle, and that one just missed the target again from Furcus. Kind of similar to Luca Del Bel-Beluz we saw for the U20s yesterday, who had a boatload of shot attempts and great scoring chances, but couldn't seem to get rewarded for them. Been the same thing for Jagger Furcus in this one. He's been one of the best offensive catalysts for his squad, but he's just missed by a few millimeters here. Otherwise, he could have 3 or 4 points in this one. Here's Clark. Brant Clark to Matejchuk. He shoots and it bounced to the slot and is quickly cleared back to neutral by the U18s. Brant Clark once again. Zigzags to the center circle, dishes to Bolduc, who has their goal in this one. Leaves for Clark to tap it back down low, and Bolduc lost sight of it there for a moment, but it comes free to Denton Matejchuk down low. Matejchuk up the wall with it, all the way to the point. Nice feed across for Brant Clark, then to the slot, and that wrister denied by Ratzlaff as he punched it away with the blocker. Another chance now for Robertson. 41 goals in the OHL this year. Dish back to the point. And it's Brant Clark now. Left it for Matejchuk slapper that doesn't get through. Raykop got his stick in the way. And the U18s get it to the point. Furcus kept it on the blue line. And that one's about as close to offside as you can get without being it. And Brant Clark shoots and scores! Puck was spinning on the blue line, barely kept in. Brant Clark takes advantage. And the Barrie Colt of the OHL snipes one from the left side to give his team a 2-1 lead. The captain of the Barrie Colts last year, 8th overall pick of the LA Kings, showing off his offensive abilities there with a really well-placed shot tough one for Ratzlaff there, and it all comes down to that keep in on the blue line. Our broadcast spot is pretty close to that blue line, but not as close as the linesman is. And said that one was just barely kept in. Now we get an icing call here against the U18s, and they got to make sure things don't get away from them here. They're being outshot 21-9 in this game, and did have a real good start to it. As we see Ethan Del Mastro there, one of the bigger players in this game, 6'4", 206 pounds. Captain of the Mississauga Steelheads in the OHL. We got a penalty, though, against Chason. Jake Chason's in the box for the U20s. And it's going to be a power play now for the U18s and an opportunity for them to claw back in this one. They're 1 for 2 on the power play. They scored on that abbreviated one in the first period on the goal by Matthew Wood. Jordan Tourigny here out of Victoriaville, Quebec. Spins away from the pressure of Josh Bloom. Good to see him back on the ice after that awkward collision just a couple of shifts ago. As Catafor puts it down the wall. There, Kalen Lind is tied up. Comes back in behind the cage. And Owen Beck trying to escape here for the U20s. It's chipped all the way down. Jordan Tourigny back to collect. Had 21 points for Shawinigan last year. As he zigzags his way to the red line. Drops back for Zach Benson to lead the rush. It's 1-on-2 here, but he'll manage to get it in deep. Quickly rimmed up the wall. And a keep in there by the U18s. As Callum Ritchie puts it down low. Banked back to the point for Tourigny. Across for Benson, and then across again. And that wrister denied by goaltender Bopit, and it's cleared all the way down ice again. Jordan Tourigny's back to get this one. Passed ahead for Matthew Wood, who has their goal. Leaves for Andrew Crystal. Dropped off again. The feed to the circle. And denied on that one is Jagger. Mason Bopit was another good stop there, it looked like, as he got to the far side of his net. And the U18s have a bit of time left in this power play. Barely onside for Wood, and he just missed that one. Trying to sneak it off the left post and in. Now for the U18s. That was Molendijk putting it to Crystal. As he sweeps it in deep. Matthew Wood, the first man on it, gets bumped in the corner, but the player who tried to hit him lost a helmet. So it'll be 5-on-3 briefly here. Can they take advantage? Not that time, as they missed on the pass. Going to come to Wood again here, though, to Molendijk as the power play's over. Now Andrew Crystal in closer, and he misses on the far side. Comes back to the point for McKinnon. Even strength here as it's gotten down to Crystal. Knife back across, and the stick gotten in the way by Jake Chason there. And he'll take his time and bounce it out to the red. Fire wagon change for the U20s as the Holinka Gretzky Cup Team Canada trying to keep pressure on. Couldn't get anything going that time, though, and Colton Dock now using his speed to get around Barkey. Another move to the side of the net, and the sharp angle try misses and goes up over the end glass and out of play. What a shot, though, for Colton Dock. 6'4", 205 out of Fort Saskatchewan. Had a 79-point campaign for the Kelowna Rockets in the WHL last year and was a first-team All-Star in his division. And he's out to take this draw in the offensive zone. Scott Ratzlaff, though, who you see at the top of your screen there, he has been the story of this one again. 20 saves for him on 22 shots by this U20 squad. It's a great way to get prepared for the top U18 players, as Doc there took a turnover in front, but just backhanded it wide. Another chance from the slot, deflects wide off the try by Clark. And this will be Del Mastro one-handing it down the boards. Fantilli there for Team Red. Loses it down low to Oliver Bonk. And can the U18s get this one out? They have been under heavy pressure over the course of this period. And that time again, they're stymied at the red. Denver Barkey, though, back to get it. Nice feed across. And here comes Carson Raykop to lead the rush. Raykop down to the corner there with the sharp angle try that deflected wide. And now Fantilli to lead a 3-on-2 rush for the U20s. Carries in, but he overskates the puck, and Raykop tapped it back to neutral. Now it's Wood carrying in. Teammates on a change, and Wood gets a shot that deflects away off the stick of Del Mastro, and then Wood takes an extra shove from Ethan Del Mastro of the Mississauga Steelheads. He won a U15 championship for the Toronto Marlboros a few years back, and also has Team Canada experience, does Del Mastro. Played at the U17s in 2019, and 1 gold to the U18s in 2021. Ethan Gauthier to take this draw in the O zone for the U18 squad now. Son of longtime Calgary Flame Denis Gauthier. And it's one toward Allen, but a hustle there by the U20s as it's knocked to neutral by Chason and spun in deep. Ratzlaff fanned on it initially there, but then got it up the wall. Now a good deflection there for Gauthier to now carry his way in with Wood. Trying to get around a defending Chason though, and he just stripped him of the puck. The feed though, too far for Ludwinski, but he will chase it down. Try to flick that in front immediately, but it was blocked. And then Allen can knock it up that wall. And just to the center circle though before it's taken away again by Furcus. But his pass went off his teammate Ludwinski. Then shot in deep by Matejchuk. And the U20s are off for a change. But then the whistle goes. And looks like we'll have a face-off just back out at neutral. There's Cohen Ziemer once again. We've talked about him as the U20s will try to extend this 2-1 lead. They're out shooting the U18s 22-13 in this one. Face-off will actually be back in U18 territory there after that puck popped out of play. Callum Ritchie there to take the draw. 45 points for Oshawa last year. He was the 4th highest scorer on the Generals last season and a first-team All-Star in the league. And I'll correct myself again as that face-off will now come out to neutral. Ritchie was originally the 2nd overall pick of the OHL draft in his draft year. It's shot in by Bolduc there. Ricochets around to Furcus. Fed to the slot, no teammate there. Only man there is Dylan McKinnon, the Riverview, New Brunswick native. Now Catafora leaves it for the feed to center by Ritchie, and that one's intercepted. But then Furcus put it right into an opponent again. Tried a blind pass there that's picked off by Catafora and dropped off as the U18s get a one-timer away from in front. That was Tourigny was just denied on a good save by Bopit. We approach the halfway mark of this one. A collision in behind the net, and one of the U18 players is slow to get up. I think that's Tourigny who took an awkward collision, but he's back up and heading off to the bench. Meanwhile, the U20s have a 4-on-1 rush, and Ratzlaff robs his man at the circle, but the puck comes free in behind. It's Ziemer trying to feed Furcus there, but McKinnon takes this away. And it's knocked to Catafora at the neutral zone. Backhands it in deep and heads off for a change. Furious action at both ends over these last couple of shifts as now Josh Bloom carries in. Dished across, finds his trailer, and that one stopped by Ratzlaff on the try from Ziemer. And a half-wall battle here as Jagger almost knifed that out. It's going to pop in front, and a wide open chance denied by Ratzlaff. Another chance for Bloom there, and he couldn't get everything on it. And that allows Riley Height to lift it out to the red line. Crystal couldn't battle his way through 2 defenders. And again, it'll be some fire wagon hockey with Bloom carrying in. Finds another trailer, and that wrister saved by Ratzlaff. Looked like Robertson on that shot, and it's going to come back down low of U18 territory. 25 saves now for Scott Ratzlaff in this one. As he will play the entirety of the game. We'll probably see a switch for the U20s at the next whistle as Del Mastro puts it in front. Puck bounced off a stick, lifted ahead. As Beck will give chase and get to it. Leave in turn for Brant Clark, who has a goal in this one. Long feed to the opposing blue there. And that was Matejchuk, but now it's taken away by Cameron Allen. Intercepted once more, though, Del Mastro. Dishes ahead for the carry-in by Colton Dock. Sharp angle shot, missed the target. And that'll ricochet all the way back into their own end. Tyson Hines gets there first, plays for Sherbrooke in the queue. Put it up that far side, and chase on. The Brandon Wheat King couldn't advance it. Fantilli back to collect now. Pursued by Barkey, as usual. But then Matejchuk, nice feed back to Fantilli, leading the rush here with Hines on his left. Fantilli's going to weave toward the slot himself, though, and got stripped of it. Matejchuk lost his footing, but then recollects the puck. Dishes ahead for Hines. He'll carry his way in with Colton Dock. Hines once again puts that one down low, and he just missed chase on. It's going to come to Fantilli, though, and back down low. U18s recollect. Can they get something going on the attack here? Allen just fires it all the way down. May have caught a skate, yes, so there's no icing. But all they were trying to get there was a line change. And the U20s get a partial break there for chase on. He ended up missing. Back to neutral this one comes. Kaylin Lind carrying in. Drops back for McKinnon. Trying to find Wood in the slot, but it was taken away by Minton and bounced out to the neutral zone. Now Ludwinski's turn to carry in. Pushed there by Caden Price. And in to help is Zach Bolduc. Minton's there on the periphery of that corner battle, but McKinnon ends up taking it and dishes ahead for Kaylin Lind. He absorbs a collision and puts it to the opposing blue. Wood had his stick tied up, though, and couldn't corral it. So in front of the penalty boxes, Lind's got to retreat a little bit here. Dish this one ahead for Ethan Gauthier. And he tries to retreat from Ethan Sampson. Wood couldn't carry it in because he was offside. So he puts it in deep, and the U18s go for a quick change. U20s try to catch them on that change. Bloom feeds it in front. Breakaway chance denied by Ratzlaff again. It's a great setup by Bloom, finding Jagger Firkus, who's now got the puck again. Firkus trying to put it in front, and it's off his stick. Still bouncing through the slot, and it goes away to the corner, as Firkus has had probably 5 scoring chances in this game. Somehow doesn't have a point yet. Catafor puts it all the way down into the U20 end. And this will be Brant Clark chasing it down. He does have a goal in this one, but then he turned it over. Catafor shoots, and it's off the stick of Del Mastro and up over the end glass and out of play. Good to see from Matthew Catafor there, the QMJHL all-rookie forward. As we will have that goaltending change for the U20 squad. So Mason Beaupit, his day is done. He made 13 saves on 14 shots. And Ben Gaudreau actually comes in now. He had originally been listed as the starter. He comes in relief today. Plays for the Sarnia Sting in the Ontario Hockey League, third-round pick of San Jose. And another player with lots of Team Canada experience. Played at the U17 Hockey Challenge in 2019 for Team Canada Black. And was the top goalie at the IIHF U18s 2 years ago when Team Canada won gold. This is Catafor carrying in as a teammate in Ritchie had been tangled up at the opposing blue. So the U18s are offside. Don't know how they couldn't hear the linesman there. And as Catafor touches it, the whistle will go, and we'll see where they take this face-off, as there was plenty of warning by the linesman. And tempers flaring a little bit here. You can see there's a bit more verbal jousting after some of these whistles. The puck's been spun all the way back down to the U20 end, but the face-off hasn't been determined yet. I think it's just going to be outside of the U20 zone. As Fantilli chats with the referee there on his way back to the bench. So Braden Yager out to take this draw. This will be Weinstein in his own end for the U18s. Leaves for Yager, and now to Cameron Allen. Banks this one across, just missing Ritchie. He'll give chase nonetheless, but the icing whistle will go. And that'll mean a face-off all the way back in the Hlinka Gretzky Cup Team Canada's end. As Ritchie heads back toward the bench there, you see him on the far side of your screen. And it'll be a face-off to Ratzlaff's right. He will play the entirety of this game. He's already made 26 stops in this one. Braden Yager again to take the draw. Out of Dundurn, Saskatchewan. Lining up there against Ludwinski. And the U20s get possession off the draw. Allen swats that free for the U18s to Crystal. Couldn't get it by a forechecker. Backed up by Cameron Allen. Guelph Storm of the OHL. Puts it up the middle. Matejchuk dives to keep that one in. And the U20s can keep pressure on here. Here's Ludwinski down in the corner. Couldn't corral the puck, but he'll recollect down in that corner. Trying to start a cycle there for Adam Fantilli. Rather, it was Zachary Bolduc down there who now gloves it down. And sweeps that one up the wall. It's going to come back down low for Bloom. Then up to the high slot. Ludwinski's got time, but couldn't get a clean wrister away there. And it's going to come out to the red once again. U20s carry back in. Bloom's got some space, but he misses wide right. Bolduc now. Zach Bolduc across for Denton Matejchuk. Dishes back down low and then returned to Matejchuk, but a stick gotten in the way again. The U20 has managed to keep possession nonetheless. Tourigny is pressured there. Does spin it off to the far wall, but Tucker Robertson's going to get there for the U20s. Robertson, 46 in red, spins with it, try to chip it down low. It's going to deflect free to Jagger Firkus. He had it poked out to neutral. A good tenacious back check there by Carson Rakoff, who now takes it away. Dishes in front looking for Jagger, but he's stripped of it by Ethan Sampson. So you got to love how Rakoff's played these last couple of games. We called him yesterday a prototypical power forward, and today he's been showing off his skill quite a bit as Benson carries in. Desperation centering feeds picked off. And now the U20s once more. Zemer stands up McKinnon as he carries in, but as he tried to dish it down low, McKinnon threw a hit to dislodge the puck. And another counterattack ensues here. It'll be Evan Noss there at the end wall. Flung ahead for Firkus, and he'll dish it middle. Back it comes now for Jagger Firkus to carry his way in. Spins it around back of the cage. Robertson's heading to the bench, so fresh off the bench is Fraser Minton to take this. Now it's shot in deep. Now from behind the red it looked like, but then goaltender Ratzlaff had come out to play it, but the whistle nonetheless has gone. So it looks like they're saying that dump-in was from just behind the red as we see the U18 goaltender. The original call was icing. I could hear the linesman. Maybe it was actually delayed offside though, because they're not taking this face-off all the way down. No, it'll have been that the U20s were continuing to press whilst offside, so the face-off will be just outside the U18 zone. All right, Oliver Bonk's got it now. As that feed missed Kalen Lind, but he was tied up. There'll be no icing. Del Mastro once again. And this now is Owen Beck. Pressured there. Here comes Del Mastro. That one bouncing off the stick of Minton. It's going to come into the U18 zone. Minton doing battle down there in the red sweater. Beck is in to help out. Fantilli's now got the puck. Tried to drop it off to Hines, but the pass didn't have enough on it. And it'll be Gauthier shooting it in for the U18s. Molendyke gives chase. Bounces out to the point. Oliver Bonk stutter steps with it. Shoots one. Comes out in front. And a point blank wrister by Lind denied. Not sure how he got that kind of great position with two defenders right in front of the net. But goaltender Gaudreau is in the way. Wearing those bright yellow Sarnia Sting style pads. As it's bounced out to the red once again. Beck jams this to the bench boards. There again, Tyson Hines for the U20 spins it in deep, and Ratzlaff will leave it. Callum Ritchie shoots it in deep. Brant Clark the first man on it. Dish now from Matejchuk, tapped ahead. U20's looking for a 2-goal lead. There's only been one goal in this middle frame. It was Brant Clark after the puck was barely kept in on the offensive blue line, sniping one from the left circle on Scott Ratzlaff. Outside of that, Ratzlaff's been perfect in this one. Another icing call here though, and Ratzlaff's going to see a face-off coming to his end of the ice. We look at Zach Benson there of the U18 squad out of Chilliwack, BC, and what a year he had for the Winnipeg Ice with 63 points in 58 games. Was also the most valuable player of the Canadian Sports School Hockey League's U15 division back in the 2019-20 campaign before he started his major junior career. He actually contributed right away with Winnipeg during that condensed COVID season where he put up 20 points in 24 games for the Ice. So here's Matejchuk at the red line for the U20s, carrying his way in, dish to Ludwinski, back across, and that wrister robbed by Ratzlaff again. Number 29 of the U18s denies Tucker Robertson on that wrister from the far side, and he has not been an easy one for any team to solve over the course of this summer showcase. With both he and Thomas Milic eligible to return for the Seattle Thunderbirds, they are going to have a heck of a tandem to try to repeat as Western champions, by which we mean Western Conference of the WHL. The Western champions, of course, were the Edmonton Oil Kings, who beat Seattle in a very entertaining WHL final. As Crystal chips that one in deep. Taken back by Sampson. And Poole cued out to the point. Kept in as that bouncer is corralled by Ethan Sampson in front. Got a penalty coming up against the U18s as there was some kerfuffle away from the play. But the U20s with an empty net and extra attacker just end up flinging it to the side of the net, and as Ratzlaff touches up, the call is going to be for a slash, and it's going to be a power play for U20 Red. They're 4th of the game, by the way, and they are 0 for 3 so far. So Sage Weinstein, who's been a big physical presence for the U18s, goes into the box. He's also one of their better defensemen, Spokane chief of the WHL, but puts his team down a man here in the dying seconds of the second period. The U18 squad being doubled in shots in this one, 30-15, but Scott Ratzlaff, 28 saves, has kept his team in striking distance. U20's looking to make it more difficult here with Minton dragging into the slot, and that one again snagged by the glove of goaltender Ratzlaff. Off the stick of Fraser Minton, the shot, 37 in red, the Kamloops Blazer of the WHL, who had 55 points for the Blazers this season in 67 games. Another player who had a great year the year prior in the condensed season. Minton had 18 points in 20 games for the Blazers. West Vancouver Academy grad originally before starting his junior career. As it bounces out to the point and U20 set up with less than 30 seconds to go. Minton once again puts it down low. As they try to return it in front, quick intercept there, and this will be Ethan Gauthier leading a shorthanded 2-on-1 rush. Gauthier shoots, and a good save, Gaudreau, as it comes free for the U20s, and one last rush up ice before the buzzer. They get a 3-on-2 right off the hop. Robertson carried in, dished it free, and it's going to come to Doc, and he airmails it with the backhander from right in front of the net. Last few seconds to go. Fraser Minton shoots it, and Ratzlaff denies him to send us into the second intermission. He's been the star of this one. That is his 30th save in this one to keep his team well within striking distance. Canada's U18 squad trailing the U20 Red Prospects by just a 2-1 margin. Are you ready to upgrade your style and wear your heart on your sleeve? Check out the largest selection of Hockey Canada gear available. Celebrating your love of hockey never looked so good. Visit shop.hockeycanada.ca now and get today's special offers. Brant Clark scores the only goal of the second period, and U20 Red leads U18 Team Canada 2-1 after 40 minutes. Third period's coming up on hockeycanada.ca. Calling all coaches. Need a hand coming up with a few new ideas for practice? The Hockey Canada Network has you covered. From drills, complete practice plans, and a load of other useful resources, the network is the only tool you'll need to take your team to the next level. The Hockey Canada Network app is available for free to any user with an iOS or Android device. And for all the junior hockey fans out there, this year is going to be huge. Hockey Canada is getting ready to host 3 marquee international events you don't want to miss. It's the Summer of Hockey. First up, top NHL prospects are coming to Red Deer from July 31st to August 6th for the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, where Canada's national men's under-18 team will go for an incredible 23rd Summer Gold Medal. Next, after being canceled in December, the 2022 IIHF World Junior Championship returns to Edmonton from August 9th to 20th. A limited number of Team Canada ticket packages are still available. And finally, to close out the calendar year in style, perhaps the most anticipated tournament of them all starts Boxing Day when the 2023 IIHF World Junior Championship returns to Atlantic Canada in Halifax and Moncton. Demand for tickets has already exceeded availability, but you can still get your name in the priority draw. Check out hockeycanada.ca/tickets for more information and for your chance to get tickets while you still can. Tyler King back with you here at Winsport with our HN Live crew as Team Canada U18 getting ready to play at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup beginning this weekend. Trail by 1 to Team Canada's U20 Red Squads. That's half the U20 prospects trying out for a spot at the 2023 World Juniors. Now that's excluding the players who are going to be playing in Edmonton on the second try team, the resumption team that's coming up at Rogers Place in Edmonton. Only 1 goal in that second period. Brant Clark with a beauty off a keep-in on the blue line. Sniped one on Scott Ratzlaff to make it 2-1. Shots were 15-9 for the U20s as that puck goes out of play right quick there. 15-9 were the shots in the second period in favor of U20 Red, and that made the 2-period total 32-16 in favor of the U20 squad, who begin this one on the power play. You see it on your screen there with 1:11 to go in the penalty to Sage Weinstein. But if you're looking for a reason why the U18s are still in striking distance, I've talked about them maybe too much, but Scott Ratzlaff has put together a marvelous performance between the pipes for the U18 squad wearing the white jerseys in this one. They downed the other half of the U20 prospects 6-4 yesterday, so much more limited on the offensive side, but it's always been a diverse scoring attack for them. They had 6 goals from 6 different goal scorers yesterday. You never know who's going to come through for them when they need a goal in the clutch. Right now on the PK, though, are the U18s, and a quick clear there will go all the way down. In on goaltender Ben Gaudreau of the Sarnia Sting. Had an .891 save percentage last year for Sarnia in 44 games for the third-round pick of San Jose. Is now Brant Clark, who had the go-ahead goal. Dropped it back, but there was no teammate there, so Jagger Firkus has to recollect. He probably should have a point by all rights with the kind of game that he's played. It's shot in here by Matejchuk to start this power play possession. Robertson chipped that to the corner, but it was taken away. Robertson did a good job to take it back, though. Left it there for Fantilli, and back to Robertson cutting in behind. Back up the wall it comes, and now Saucer to Jagger Firkus at the point. Cut across, and the fake slapper there from Clark. Then that one rings off the post. That's the 3rd time in this game that the U20s have hit the post. And out of the box comes Weinstein. Another chance for Firkus here. He had it poke check, though, and Brant Clark has to go back and get it at his own blue. They'll make a change here. Will the U20s get 2 defensemen out there? They had Firkus playing the point on the power play to start things off. As blowing a tire there was Ethan Sampson. Luckily for him, nothing comes of that for the U18s. And here now once again is Ryan Green. The Paradise, Newfoundland native, got it to Colton Dock at the red line. He dishes that one across as it's tipped in by Adam Fantilli. They'll get tangled up down there. It's going to ricochet out to Cohen Ziemer at the point. Put down low, and Jordan Turingy with the intercept. But then Sampson keeps it in at the point, puts it middle, and that was picked off. Sampson again in his own zone. Nice feet ahead for Colton Dock. A big 6'4" forward, barrels his way in, trying to drive to the front, but he was pushed just enough by Oliver Bonk and couldn't get something through. Fantilli trying again here. Dishes down to Dock. He's met by Turingy. They'll get tangled up with each other. And Tucker Robertson has to come in and help for the U20s. Pops free in front of the net. The U18s settle it down. Flipped in by Mathieu Cathafor. He'll head off for a change. This is Tyson Hines in behind his own net. 6'3" defender out of Gatineau. Trying to bank it to the opposing blue, but Josh Bloom is way offside on that one. Is the Saginaw Spirit forward, 6'2", 180 pounds out of Oakville, Ontario. Third round pick of the Buffalo Sabres as well is Josh Bloom, who also played for Team Canada Red at the World Under-17 Hockey Challenge in 2019. Great year for him in Saginaw last season with 61 points in 67 games. As Bloom and Beck head to the bench for the U20s as they complete another change here before this D-zone draw. One assumes this face-off will eventually happen, and there we go. Cameron Allen's shot there was blocked, and it goes out to the red line. We didn't mean for that to be as pregnant a pause as it was, as it's banked off the glass here for Height. He couldn't settle it down at the opposing blue, though. And the U20s can recollect and shoot this one in deep. Getting there first is Paul Ludwinski. Leaves for Chase on in that corner. Sweeps it back up to the point for Del Mastro. Good keep in there. As it's missed by Minton, but came to Ludwinski in the corner. Couldn't get that one in front. Andrew Crystal there for the Team White squad, the U18s. Loses it there, but it's going to come to Fraser Minton. Dished in front, and the one-timer just misses from Hines. Good one-knee one-timer there for the trailing defenseman on that one, but couldn't find the target. Now Riley Height counterattacking, shoots it just wide. Once again, Ludwinski puts it out to the red. U18's the other way with Carson Rakoff, the Kitchener Ranger. Barrels around Hines, centers it. It's off a stick into the blue paint, but didn't come in on goaltender Gaudreau, and it's shot all the way down again. Icing there against the U20s, and a great scramble created there by Canada's Hlinka Gretzky Cup U18 squad. As we see Carson Rakoff there in the middle of your screen, plays for Kitchener in the OHL, grad of the Toronto Junior Canadiens, was originally the Rangers' 17th overall pick in the OHL draft. One of the bigger players on the ice too, and on that U18 team. 6'3", 185 pounds is Rakoff, who had a 33-point campaign for the Rangers last season. So now it's the U20s on the attack with Cohen Ziemer driving his way down behind the cage. Leaves in turn for a shot from the point that didn't get through. Now Zachary Bolduc recollects. He had the opening goal for the U20s back in the first period. There Barkey overskates it, so Brant Clark taps it the other way. Carry in by Ziemer. He's got Bolduc in front. Going to put it to Clark, though, and he is just swarmed by U18 defenders, and Rakoff spins this one free for Barkey to carry in. Drop back to Rakoff. Try to put it back down low, but Matejchuk got in the way. Brant Clark going to chase this one down. Couldn't get to it. Furcus whacked at it with his stick. Couldn't get it in deep. Matejchuk shoots it in. Wasn't easy for either of them to get by Tanner Molendijk on that one, who's now in to help out, but this will be the U20s taking possession. Fantilli put it to the point. Matthew Wood, a nice little spin as he gathered the puck, and then a blind pass ahead, perfectly positioned, but the eventual shot by Gauthier is saved and held by Ben Gaudreau. And then we'll get some shoving and pushing at the far circle here. Fantilli and Kalen Lind mix it up a bit. Lind there for the U18s, number 19, the Red Deer Rebel in the WHL. Heads back to the bench, and another face-off coming into U20 territory. Be Owen Beck out to take this draw, the Port Hope, Ontario native. East of Toronto along the 401. Second-round pick of the Montreal Canadiens, and also the CHL's Scholastic Player of the Year was Owen Beck, number 14 on this U20 squad. Was also named to the second all-rookie team in the OHL. 51-point campaign for him with the Mississauga Steelheads in 68 games. Robertson gloving this one down. Good quick backhander, but Ratzlaff again was up to the task. Robertson again. Dishes down the wall, and Bloom couldn't corral that one, so Molendijk takes it away. Didn't leave it for Matthew Wood. He's going to take it himself up to the red line and get that one in deep. Kalen Lind giving chase as his stick gets knocked out of his hands. And that's usually a pretty easy one. Going to be a holding call here that's going to send the U18s back to the power play. Rather send the U20s back to the power play, it looks like, as it's the grab by Lind while he had lost his stick that's going to actually lead to the call.
So he goes to the box, and the U20s get the power play. And it's going to be their 5th of the game, by the way. Perfect 4 for 4 on the PK are the U18s. And this could be a dagger goal if the U20s can convert. They did everything but score on that last power play, including a really good shot that hit the post. They've hit the post 3 times in this game. It's been a game of missed opportunities for them without question. The 3 post hits. Jagger Firkus probably has 4 or 5 good scoring chances. But they've only been able to beat Scott Ratzlaff twice, and that's a credit to the Team Canada U18 goaltender, who, based on this performance and the fact he's being given the full 60 minutes of this one, likely the guy we're going to see between the pipes when that tournament gets going. They do have one pre-tournament game against Finland coming up on Friday, does Team Canada, but the official tournament begins Sunday against Switzerland at 7 o'clock. As Fraser Minton will start the power play breakout here for the U20s. Haven't gotten anything going quite yet, which is why I was able to ramble a bit about how good Scott Ratzlaff's been. But now, trying to set things up. As this is Ziemer putting one across, and that wrister from Minton robbed by Ratzlaff again. It's going to become a catchphrase after a while here. Fraser Minton there took a great pass along the near side and got that shot off on Ratzlaff, and he's a little slow after grabbing onto that one, but boy, has he been good at tracking and getting from post to post there. Didn't give Minton very much to shoot at. I think he's indicating to the ref there that that puck may have caught him a little bit high, and the officials will give him a little bit of time to take a little swig of water and get set once again. We're just under halfway through this latest U20 power play. Brant Clark puts that down low again as it's fed in front. That great one-timer Robertson, and again Ratzlaff gets in the way. Made 33 saves. Matejchuk out to the point as it's swung back to Matejchuk, shooting, and it's off the side of the net. Another try for Fantilli as he gets it to Jagger Firkus. Firkus in closer and has to retreat and surveys once again. Jagger Firkus once more, but he fanned on that one. Helped out, though, by a teammate in Fantilli, or rather Robertson here. Will skate into the circle, put it side of the cage. Now back to Matejchuk, and the feed middle is off a stick. And the U18 settle it down. Almost springing Barkey on a breakaway pass, but it's going to be taken right back in here by Bolduc. Banked off the end wall. It's going to come out to Matejchuk. Nope, swatted all the way down by Carson Rakoff. And that'll just about do it for the penalty to Kalen Lind. 5 for 5 on the PK for Canada's U18 national squad. Josh Bloom, the carry-in, leaves it for Ziemer. He'll drive down to the corner before he's cut off by a defender. That's Zach Benson down there. As it bounces back free to Molendyk. He's got Lind fresh out of the box, skating out to neutral, but the feed just goes wildly to the center circle. It is settled down by Lind, then swept ahead. But over-skating it there was Callum Ritchie. Lind, though, from his knees, he got back up and nearly managed to drive that one down low, but now Jake Chason carries in for the U20s. Lost it at the blue line, and it's a 3-on-1 the other way. Benson leading with Lind. Benson stops up and feeds it in front, and he just missed Lind, perfectly positioned at the top of the crease. Molendyk the recollect, back at his own blue. Dishes ahead for Benson to knock it in deep. And Caden Price gets there for the U20, or rather Ethan Del Mastro gets there for the U20s. Puts it out to the red line. Jordan Tourigny there. Left in turn for Ritchie. And he bounces it ahead. Matthew Wood giving chase. Has Benson in front, but his feed goes right to the goaltender, and Gaudreau gets on top of it. Benson was trying to get to the front of the net there, but he had an imposing defender in the form of Del Mastro in front of the cage. And Zach Benson heads back to the bench there. 25 goal scorer for the Winnipeg Ice last year. Just 5'10", 150 pounds, but one of the best skaters we've seen throughout this week, and we're including both the U18 and U20 teams when we make that assessment. Face-off won by the U20s here in their own end. Here's Josh Bloom. That one misses everybody, and they will call that one? Oh my. There's some vociferous protestations about that, as it looked like they had beaten it out, plus goaltender Ratzlaff had come out to play it. Was it Fantilli who I think got to it there? Yeah, it was. It was Adam Fantilli who was in pretty good position, and he's going to win the argument, and the faceoff's going to be at center ice instead of being called icing there. As we mentioned, it's a development week for everybody, including our officials, as Beck carries his way in. Drives into the slot with it and got a point-blank shot away, but again, Ratzlaff got in the way of that one. Josh Bloom now. He's bear hugged down there. Bounces free again, as it'll be Fantilli sending his man into the end wall. That was Pricey knocked down. Will be a penalty here. I don't think on the initial hit, but on the cross-check here that's going to be called at the end of the play. It looks like frustration just boiled over a little bit for Josh Bloom, and it's going to send the U18s to their 4th power play of this game. They are 1 for 3 so far. And after withstanding this furious attack by Team Red, the U18s only have 2 shots in this 3rd period. They're being outshot 37-18 in the game. But within striking distance of a tie game here if they can convert on this power play. Here's Ethan Gauthier. Dish to the middle, and that one tipped onto the pad of Gaudreau. Again, it was Matthew Wood there on the power play who nearly got it through. Braden Yager now to Tanner Molendyk. Shoots it, and a good save on that deflection by goaltender Gaudreau. Didn't have to move, but it did bounce right into the Team Canada logo on the front of his jersey. And holds on to that one for a whistle. But good job by the U18s to get this power play started. Ben Gaudreau stands 6'2", 172 pounds. And if he can make the World Junior squad, will be the 3rd Team Canada he's played for after spots in the U17 Hockey Challenge and the World Under-18s. Molendyk leaves for Matthew Wood. Once again, Tanner Molendyk leads the rush. Drops back for Andrew Crystal to carry in. And now it's across to Braden Yager. Yager cuts down to the circle with it and then puts it down low for Gauthier. He's got Crystal in front. He's going to rim it up to the point. There, Dylan McKinnon. It's now spun across for Yager once more. And then to Molendyk at the blue line. That shot deflects wide, as it's going to come back to Yager. Spun down low to Gauthier, who deflected that last shot. Out to the point it comes. There's Matthew Wood. Drop back Molendyk. Tanner Molendyk leaves it. There's Crystal. Then over to Yager. Had to kick it to his stick. Now he shoots, and Samson blocked it. Gauthier knocks it up to Crystal at the point. Trying to get it back down low. Yager has to spin it middle to Molendyk, and then over to Matthew Wood. Shoots. That was a rocket, but a good glove save by Ben Gaudreau, and he holds on to that one for a whistle. As Andrew Crystal heads to the bench there, 44 in white from the Kelowna Rockets of the WHL. Crystal with 3 goals in this summer showcase. 69 points for the Rockets last year for the Burnaby, BC native. Crystal standing just 5'9", 150 pounds. But 69 points in 61 games for the Rockets last season. 28 of those points were goals. Callum Ritchie there, tangled up with a defending Ethan Del Mastro, and we'll get a big corner battle down there. As time ticks away on that U20 power play, or penalty I should say. Height maybe with one last chance, but power play was about to end. I was going to say it's going to end as a result of a penalty here, but are they calling offsetting ones here? Yes, 2 roughing calls off that little fracas that was ensuing at the far corner. So the power play will remain for another 10 seconds. And we'll just have the 2 roughing penalties here. So this will actually become a 4-on-3 for 10 seconds, and then we'll skate 4-on-4 for 1:50. Callum Ritchie in the box for the U18s. And it's big Ethan Del Mastro heading into the box for the U20s. Officials will discuss this one. But it's going to be Bloom who comes out of the box in 10 seconds. And with the offsetting penalties, that'll mean the faceoff does stay here in the U20 zone. So as Mathieu Catherfort gets set to take the draw, his power play unit, well, why are they 5-on-3 now? All right, there we go. One of them's leaving. 4-on-3. So Zach Benson's going to take the draw here. He's got height there with him, but he jumped in a bit quickly. The linesman says, let's try that again. The draw won cleanly by the U20s. One last clear, and they're going to get Josh Bloom out of the box and escape holding on to this 1-goal lead. But 4 shots on goal during that power play for the U18s. As here comes Benson through center. Carries his way in, sweeps it down to Tourigny, a defenseman here. Jams it back behind the net, and it's Matejchuk who intercepts, but then lost it in turn. Still Fantilli has to leave for Matejchuk to retreat back to his own end wall. Banks it over to Brant Clark. And Fantilli once more. Clark's through the center line, carrying in with Fantilli. Gonna drop it off to Fantilli, and that one is another glove snag for Ratzlaff. And you gotta love how number 29 has played for this U18 squad, and if he's half as good in the Hlinka Gretzky Cup as he's been over the course of this summer showcase, Team Canada is gonna really put a charge into the rest of these international teams. Remember, this is, of course, this team in white here taking on U20 players over today and yesterday in order to prepare for taking on the world's best U18 players. It's a great way to get yourself ready for top international competition. Canada, of course, with lots of gold medals at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, going for number 23, but did not win the last one. As Molendyk has it down at the circle. Of course, it was Russia who took the last one, as Molendyk carries down low here, drops off of the circle, and that one rang off the post from Braden Yager. That puck pops into the crowd, and that'll mean a whistle. Braden Yager there, who's been a bit snake bit after a really good game for him. Fired that one from the far circle. It caught the outside of the right post. Nearly a tie game there. Instead, the face-off will be just outside of the U20's end. Tucker Robertson out to take this draw. Denton Matejchuk's through the center circle with it. Gives it to Green. He shoots, and Ratzlaff right there to stop it. Ryan Green again in the corner. Pressured and knocked down. And it's Rakoff who came away with it for the U18s. Then Benson lifts a bouncer that Rakoff's going to try to chase down here, but a good job by Brant Clark to get there first. Leave for Matejchuk to lift a bouncer to the neutral zone. He's going to skip all the way down onto Ratzlaff, and he'll push it off to that far side. And 10 seconds to go in the 4-on-4 before we get back to the regular even strength, as that one goes wide off the stick of Cameron Allen. Banked out to the point again as we're back to 5 aside. Rakoff there, harangued from behind by Del Mastro, allowing the U20s to take it. And here they come. Fantilli drops this one back to Green. Dropped off in turn nicely to Tyson Hines. Shoots right on. The rebound's there and corralled by the U20s again. But again, Ratzlaff made a good stop. That point shot doesn't get through and is swatted to neutral ice by Carson Rakoff. Back in comes Jake Chason. No, he had to stop at the opposing blue and then sweep it in. Now Tyson Hines back at his own blue. Makes a spin as well. Gives to Chason, and now the carry in for Minton. Dished across for Chason. Back up top it comes, and that one doesn't get through. Minton intercepts at the red. Drops it back into his own end. That was Ziemer getting it out to neutral. Shot in deep. Goaltender Ratzlaff stops it. Going to play it at the last second there to get it up the wall. And Kalen Lynn trying to muscle this one out for the U18s. Couldn't do it that time. Sage Weinstein will get to this at the far side. Dished ahead, Colby Barlow caught up at his own blue line. Can get it out to the red, but Owen Beck gets back to it here for the U20s. Owen Beck carries in offside as Cohen Ziemer was over the blue line a bit too early. Back to the neutral zone we come here. Shots on goal 41-21. In favor of the U20 Red squad, which means U18 goaltender Scott Ratzlaff made 39 saves now. And here comes his team with Gauthier carrying in. That one shot into the glove of goaltender Gaudreau, and he holds on for another whistle. His U18 squad, as we mentioned, opens against Switzerland on Sunday. Then on Monday, they'll have a day off. They take on Slovakia Tuesday night, August the 2nd. At 7 o'clock. All their games will be primetime games. Sweden on Wednesday as well. And then they move to the elimination round after that. The Hlinka Gretzky Cup games all played at the PV March Centrium in Red Deer. Of course, the tournament originally supposed to be split between Edmonton and Red Deer as it was a few years back pre-COVID. But with Edmonton hosting the resumption of the World Juniors this summer, it'll be the Hlinka Gretzky Cup in Red Deer, World Juniors in Edmonton. Then, of course, out to the Maritimes for the 2023 World Junior Championship beginning on Boxing Day as the U18s carry that one in offside. Halifax and Moncton will be getting it back, and the priority draw, you can still get your name in for those tickets at hockeycanada.ca/tickets. It's part of a resumption of a lot of national events that are coming back into the fold this year. Of course, the Centennial Cup Junior 8 Championship just happened a few months ago. The Esso and Telus Cups were relocated to Okotoks, just south of here, and went off mostly without a hitch this past spring. And the World Under-17 Hockey Challenge, which hasn't happened since 2019, will be back this November. For those of you watching in BC, that'll be in Langley and Delta, BC. The prime host being the Langley Event Center, where the Vancouver Giants play. As Clark at the point there for the U20s, leaves for Furcus to jam it down low. And then the feed in front was disrupted by Riley Height, but it ricochets into the bench. And that'll mean another whistle and the face-off, another O-Zone one coming up here for the U20 squad. Look there at Canada's Hlinka Gretzky team. Selected on Monday, 23 players to wear the maple leaf, and getting a real good test with these two games against Canada's top U20 players. Canada usually goes into the Hlinka Gretzky Cup as the favorites. It is a best-on-best tournament. Looking forward to seeing what this squad is able to do. They put together some really entertaining games just in scrimmage scenarios here. Icing waved off there on a fierce race for that one. See if the U18s can get something by Ben Gaudreau. But he has been perfect in this one. Molendyk holds on. Spins it down low, but Height got tied up before he could get to that puck. Kalen Lind in there to try to dig it free, and he does. Swept back in behind. Going to come out to Molendyk, driving down the wall. He gets crunched into the corner by Robertson, who immediately takes the puck back. And Tucker Robertson's out to the neutral zone with it. Tapped ahead for Owen Beck to carry in. Dish to the slot, and it was just out of Josh Bloom's reach, but Robertson keeps it in. Runs into the shoulder of Molendyk and battles forward at the end boards here. Sent all the way down. Del Mastro will chase this down for the U20s. Goaltender Ben Gaudreau, by the way, has made 8 saves on 8 shots after coming in relief of Mason Bopit, who made 13 saves on 14 shots. That one flung in front of the U18 net. Couldn't tap one home. Ratzlaff not tested that time. It'll be bounced down into U20 territory for the chase down by Catafor. Benson's in there too, to Catafor, who's tied up right away. Benson's now got a stick on it. Passed it out to the point for McKinnon. Across for Tourigny. He holds on, gives it back to McKinnon. Flung across, McKinnon got it back. He's pressured though, can't backhand it down low. And the U20s spring the zone with Fantilli leading the rush now. Adam Fantilli had it poke checked though by a back-checking Benson. And it'll come back free for Matthew Catafor, who takes a bump into his own far corner. U18s have to try to settle it down once again. But Furcus is in on the forecheck there. Tourigny now with a bit of space to set up a pass. So it's gotten to their own blue, and now Zach Benson can flip it in from the red and head off for a change. Denton Matejchuk gets there. And now flung to Furcus at the neutral zone. Shoots it in from the red line. Took a bump from Molendyk in the process. And it's an empty net here for the U18s. I almost missed there as they nearly put this one to bed early. Empty net early here for the U18s with 2:10 to go. All they need is one goal. They cleared over the glass, and immediately the calls from the U18s is for a penalty, and the officials will discuss. They'll have their conference at the center circle here. What did each of them see? Did it go straight out or not? It was deflected, they're going to say, and there will be no power play for Canada's U18 squad. You got to love that even in a scrimmage scenario, when the puck goes over the glass, immediately the players start furiously signaling because they want that power play. They want the chance to tie this one and send it to overtime. Again, if the Hlinka Gretzky squad who you see here on your screen right now is this emotionally invested into a camp scrimmage, just imagine the level of intensity they're going to bring to the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. Coming up this weekend live on TSN. They started Sunday night with that 7 o'clock game against Switzerland. And they have been a treat to watch. This whole set of broadcasts began with their first 2 intra-squad games, and there were some real tough decisions that Hockey Canada staff had to make to pare this down to the 23 players that you've seen over the course of these 2 games against the U20 teams. But you've seen it down the stretch here. Awesome intensity for these U20 players. Of course, they are playing for a spot at the 2023 tournament, which will be in Halifax and Moncton starting in late December on Boxing Day. And a little bit, less than what they could put on the ice if not for the fact that a lot of the best U20 prospects who are already on the World Junior team that's going to play in August, they're not at this summer showcase as they're just getting set for the resumption of that tournament, which begins August 9th, by the way, up in Edmonton. And now with 2:07 left, empty net, an extra attacker for the Hlinka Gretzky team. Can they knot this one up late? Ben Gaudreau's been perfect. He'll probably be tested here. The U18s get possession, but not able to keep it in that time was Jagger. He's got to recollect at neutral, give it to Cameron Allen. Dished ahead, and it's deflected in deep by Benson. And a roll in behind the net. Evan Noss is the first man there for it, but the clearance stopped by Riley Height. Gotten out to the point here. And that was Jagger dishing it across. Back to Braden Jagger. One-timer, save, and covered up by goaltender Gaudreau. As that one, he didn't have perfect sight of it, I don't think, as it came through a lot of bodies in on him. But Gaudreau, as soon as that puck hit him and bounced down in front of him, he spotted it immediately and got on top of it for a real important whistle. As the U18s, no surprise, had crowded the front of the net looking for a rebound goal. They do earn themselves another offensive zone opportunity, though. There you see Kalen Lind out there, Ethan Gauthier as well. It'll be Gauthier to take the draw. He's got Benson and Lind in the slot with him. Allen and Jagger man the point. So they got 5 forwards out here and 1 defenseman, which is Cameron Allen. And off that draw, this is Allen. It just missed him. He's got to go back and get it. Fan on the pass, though, taken away by Robertson, shooting, and it's blocked. An important stick there from Cameron Allen. Otherwise, it would have been game over. Zach Benson now gathers speed in his own end. Can he get something going for the U18s? He's going to shoot it in deep. Chased down first by Matejchuk. Rimmed out to the point, but kept in. Middle for Allen. He kept that in on the blue line. Cameron Allen again leaves for Jaeger, and then fed down low as the feed across goes off his stick and ricochets to the corner. Gauthier almost tripped up a bit. He stripped to the puck, and the clearance goes off Jagger's glove and out to the red line. Knifed ahead by Bloom, but not to the empty net as Allen got back to get it once again. Time starting to run low. We're into the final minute here. The U18s need 1 goal to force the extra frame. Benson carries in. Drop back Ethan Gauthier. Back behind the net. Catafor leaves for Zach Benson. Rimmed up to the point, but there's nobody there. It's going to go all the way back into their end. And Cameron Allen's got to go back and get it once again. Both teams changing up the personnel. Riley Height at the red. Couldn't settle it down. Green the other way. Shoots for the empty net. It's off a glove and wide. And Cameron Allen again will settle it down. Long shift for him as he'll leave it for the carry ahead now. Allen recollects. Cameron Allen through center. Shot in deep. In fact, it was Ritchie fresh off the bench who got that down to the end wall. With the final seconds to go here in this third period, can the U18s at least get a shot away? Jagger put it down the wall. Then a feed in front's off a skate and deflected free with just a few seconds to go. U20s with a shot all the way down. Scores from their own blue line. Fired home by Fantilli, and the U20s are going to take this final game of the U18 U20 Summer Showcase. Adam Fantilli puts this one to bed with a perfectly placed shot from his own blue line. And despite a real good goaltending performance by the Hlinka Gretzky Cup squad and some good chances to claw back in it late, they're going to fall by a tight margin in this one, but you got to be really impressed with what these youngsters brought to the table over the course of this week. They beat the U20 prospects yesterday by 2. Today they were never out of it by any stretch. And we certainly know that goaltending will not be a weakness for that Hlinka Gretzky Cup Team Canada that will do battle starting on Sunday. Final faceoff goes. Furcus shoots it in deep. A lot of great performances on the ice over the course of this game, but it's the U20 Red squad that takes this one by a final score of 3-1 with an empty netter. Real entertaining hockey over the course of this week as they head over and congratulate goaltender Ben Gaudreau, who was perfect in relief of Mason Beaupit, who was near perfect, making 13 saves in this one. And it's the U20 Red squad that ends their camp with a big victory over the Hlinka Gretzky Team Canada. That'll do it for us here from Winsport in Calgary. On behalf of our entire HN Live crew, this is Tyler King saying good afternoon. We thank you so much for tuning in.